Let's jump right in. So you've recently moved to Spain, you've got your Moroccan driving license, and now you're probably staring down the barrel of Spanish bureaucracy, right? Look, navigating a foreign administrative system can feel, well, totally overwhelming. But honestly, it really doesn't have to be. In this explainer, we're cutting out all the fluff. We're going to walk through a highly practical, step-by-step guide on exactly how to exchange that Moroccan license for a Spanish one. By the end of this, you're going to know exactly what you need, where you need to go, and precisely what it'll cost you. Okay, let's do this.
Here is our quick roadmap for today. We've got Part 1, the basics of the canje. Part 2, your essential document checklist. Part 3, the 4-step process. And finally, Part 4, a super important legal disclaimer. I'm going to be your bureaucratic guide here to help you safely navigate all this paperwork.
All right, Section 1, the basics of the canje. Understanding the rules and the ticking clock. Now, before you start gathering any paperwork at all, you really need to know the fundamental rules dictating this whole thing. The really great news is that Spain and Morocco actually have a dedicated driving license exchange agreement. It's been around since 2004, but it was freshly updated in 2024, which means swapping your license is totally doable and actually pretty streamlined as long as you play by the rules.
Okay, so the absolute most important vocabulary word you need to know today is canje. You are literally going to see and hear this word everywhere. It simply translates to exchange. This is the official Spanish administrative process for swapping your foreign driving license for a Spanish one. Honestly, knowing this exact term is your secret weapon for navigating the system with confidence. Whenever you're talking to officials or Googling around, you aren't just changing a license, you're applying for a canje. The next big term is the DGT, which stands for Dirección General de Tráfico. This is the Directorate General for Traffic, the official Spanish traffic authority. Basically, you can just think of them as the absolute bosses of the road in Spain. They are the primary government body you'll be dealing with from day one of your application right up to the moment they hand over your shiny new Spanish license.
And hey, remember that ticking clock I mentioned a minute ago? Well, it's 6 months. Your Moroccan license is only valid to drive in Spain for exactly 6 months from the moment you gain normal residency. And guys, this is a hard, strict deadline. The second those 6 months are up, your Moroccan license is legally useless on Spanish roads. So you absolutely must initiate the canje process within this specific window. Trust me, do not wait until month 5 to start figuring this out.
So, a big question you might have, do you actually have to take a driving test again? Well, if you drive a motorbike or a normal car, so that's categories A1, A, and B, you get to skip the exams completely. No theory, no practical, nothing. It's just a straight swap, all thanks to that bilateral agreement. But if you hold a commercial license for, say, trucks or buses, categories C and D, the rules are definitely stricter. For those heavy vehicles, the DGT does require you to pass a practical test in Spain. But for the vast majority of everyday drivers on A and B licenses, you are 100% exempt from testing. How great is that? Okay, let's jump into Section 2, your essential document checklist. This is the arsenal you need before you begin. If there is literally just one thing you take away from this explainer, let it be this. Having the exact right documents perfectly organized ahead of time is exactly how you beat Spanish bureaucracy.
Seriously, take a mental screenshot of this slide right now. This is your non-negotiable checklist. First up, your valid residence authorization. That means your TIE, your NIEE, or your passport. Second, your original valid Moroccan driving license. Third, a document that proves your current address in Spain. Fourth, and this one is highly specific, you need proof that you were not a resident in Spain at the time you originally got your Moroccan license. And fifth, your medical fitness report, which is called the psicofísico. If you're missing even a single one of these, your application is going to stop dead in its tracks.
Let's quickly double-click on that last bullet point. The psicofísico is this mandatory medical and psychological fitness test that all drivers in Spain have to take. Now, you can't just pop over to your regular doctor for this. It has to be done at an authorized driver assessment center, known as a CRC. It's basically a standard check of your eyesight, your coordination, general health, that sort of thing. But keep in mind, the second you get this certificate, it's only valid for 90 days. So you've really got to time this medical test carefully with your overall application. Moving right along to Section 3, the 4-step process. Execution from start to finish. We've got our vocabulary down, we have our document checklist, and now it's time to put it all together. This is where the rubber really meets the road. So there are 4 core steps to the canje. Step 1, gather your documents. Step 2, pass your psicofísico at a CRC. Step 3, apply online at the Sede Electrónica. And Step 4, surrender your original license. I can guarantee you, if you follow this exact order, you are going to save yourself time, money, and a whole lot of headaches. Let's break these down one by one. Step 1, gather all your required documents perfectly before starting any applications. Look, do not even try to start the online process if you're still waiting around for a proof of address or your residency card. You have to build your foundation first. Make sure your Moroccan license is valid right now. Ensure your residency is fully valid, and definitely triple check that you have that specific proof showing you didn't live in Spain when you first passed your driving test in Morocco. If you get step 1 perfectly right, the rest is an absolute breeze. Now, step 2 is where you actually have to leave your house. You must pass your psicophysical in person at a driver assessment center, or CRC. Even though the Spanish administrative system had this huge digital overhaul in 2024, they obviously still need to physically test your eyesight and your reflexes. So go to the CRC, take the short tests, and grab that medical certificate. And remember, the clock on that 90-day validity, it starts ticking the exact moment they hand it to you. Which leads us straight into step 3. With all your documents and that fresh medical test in hand, we're going digital. You're going to submit your application at the Sede Electrónica. That's the DGT's electronic office portal. As of 2024, this application procedure is completely digital. But to use this portal, you're going to need a Spanish digital certificate. If you don't have one, no worries. You can legally hire what's called a gestor, basically an administrative professional who has the authorization to submit the whole thing on your behalf. Now, while you're in the Sede Electrónica submitting everything, you're gonna have to pay the administrative fee. For those A1, A, and B licenses, the cars and motorbikes that don't need a new exam, you'll pay what the DGT calls Tariff 2.3. And to put a really specific number on it for the year 2026, the exact fee is €28.87. It's a very specific amount, so just make sure you've got a payment method ready that can handle exact online payments. And finally, step 4. Once the DGT reviews your digital application and gives you the green light, they'll call you in to physically surrender your original Moroccan license. Yes, they keep it. But honestly, don't stress about it, because on that exact same day, they're going to hand you a provisional Spanish driving document. That means you can just keep driving legally without skipping a beat. After that, you just wait. In about 1.5 months, your final, physical Spanish driver's license will arrive in the mail. And boom, mission accomplished. All right, before we let you loose to conquer the Spanish roads, we've got to cover Section 4, an important legal disclaimer. Just some final thoughts and verification before you get started. We love breaking down these complex processes to make them as simple as possible, but it's super vital to remember the rules of engagement when you're dealing with government bureaucracy. This explainer is strictly for informational guidance. It is not legal advice. We've rigorously pulled every single detail here directly from the official DGT rules on exchanging Moroccan licenses. But government rules, exact tariffs, and deadlines, they can and do change. So always verify the most up-to-date requirements straight from the official DGT source, or consult with a licensed gestor in Spain before you kick off your canje. It's a pretty strict system, but honestly, it begs a much bigger question. As digital infrastructure keeps bridging these international borders, are we eventually going to see a future where global driving licenses make these local exchanges entirely obsolete? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I will catch you in the next explainer.
That was a quick overview. On our website, you'll find step-by-step guides to many procedures: the Padrón, the health card, the NIE, the TIE, legalization, and more. The link is in the description. And if you get stuck, message our Telegram bot. We'll walk you through for free, step by step.